Everyone, Sean Count Blagrath here with an album review, this time the 2012 Unique Leader Records release of Liberation Through Hearing by Inanimate Existence. If you're not familiar with Inanimate Existence, they are a 5-piece technical, brutal death metal band hailing from California, and this is their debut album, and oh my god. I don't even really know how to put it other than this band is technical, they are progressive, they are brutal, but they don't do it in a distasteful showing off way. They don't showcase it as in like, oh, look at what we can do sort of thing. I hate bands that are technical for the sake of being technical and progressive for the sake of being progressive, or even brutal for the sake of being brutal. It all has to sound natural to me, and that's what this band has the sound of. You can tell that these guys are very talented musicians who know how to make fantastic compositions and piece together songs and even make absolutely amazing songs that tie together, and I think that's really awesome. The guitar on this album is just very heavy, it's full sounding, it's very clear. It's got tons and tons of just nasty sounding distortion, but as I said, it's clear enough where you understand what's going on, but it still has that punch and the balls behind it that I really, really like. A lot of the riffs are very technical, very Cannibal Corpse-esque, actually, with like the opening track I can't even really say the name of. It really has this quality to it where it's technical, progressive, and just very, very cool sounding. It sounds a lot like modern Cannibal Corpse in some spots, and that's a great thing in my opinion, because that's really good death metal that's technical, yet still has a simplistic vibe. Just overall, it's a fantastic sound, and it definitely works for this band. Another thing that I'm loving about the guitar work on this is some of the just absolutely brutal and just face-melting, disgustingly heavy slams that are done, and just thrown in bits and pieces here and there. And when they're thrown in, it breaks up the technical aspect of the album enough where you're just left in complete shock and almost in pain from how hard you were just punched in the face. The amazing part about this, which really blew me away, is the use of acoustic guitar, and in fact the final 7 tracks are actually for the most part acoustic and very progressive and instrumental, and they all form together to create this one gigantic opus, so to speak, of just pure beauty in progressive metal. It's a very awesome thing to hear, and I love how the album ends on that note. It breaks up just how straight up this band is, which is something that albums like this really need, and why I'm not a big fan of listening to a whole album of technical death metal. I find it to be very tiresome, very boring almost at times, even if the music is extremely good and the songs themselves are interesting. If it continues that same formula, I'm not going to like your album that much. And the great thing about these guys is they do not follow a set formula. They don't stick to like, okay, this is going to be technical, have this sort of riff here, this one here, maybe a slam here, solo, and then end of the song. These guys really have an interesting song structure and incredible musicianship that ties it all in together, and their songwriting skills are absolutely, bar none, some of the best I've heard this year. And along with acoustic pieces, the bass work is just absolutely amazing. The taps that are done, they're not done very often, it sounds like taps to my ears at least, are very technical sounding, very good sounding. The bass has the perfect death metal, tech death tone that I love to hear in this style of music, and hands down they got that bass tone right on this album. The bass ventures off into its own territory, creating this whole new soundscape that adds a whole new dimension to the music, which is something that I love to hear. The drums, just amazing. The drummer is probably one of the best I've heard in a long time in modern death metal. He's got very, very creative beats and patterns and amazing fills, and the drums just sound great. Nothing is too clicky, nothing is louder than another thing. The mix on this album is easily one of my favorites from this year, along with the Dawn of Demise album. Those two mixes combined, not even combined, just like are the two best this year I've heard when it comes to death metal, and that's a very good thing. Vocally, it's my only gripe with this album is the vocals are extremely monotone, and I like vocalists that can mix it up with lows, highs, mids, maybe a lower than normal low, but instead it's just the same straight up low vocal throughout the whole record. It's a very sick and brutal low, don't get me wrong. He's a great vocalist, just an absolute beast. But I wish a little bit more could have been done in the vocal department. Lyrically, just absolutely amazing. This band has a very, very, very bright future ahead of them, and I highly encourage you all to pick this album up. It's available through Unique Leader Records, which you can find in most retailers. I'm pretty sure you can find it in FYE. If not, order it online and support this band, because this is a record you have to hear. So for an overall score, I'm going to give this a solid 9 out of 10. Definitely pick this up. Please do yourself a favor and buy this. This is just amazing. So 9 out of 10. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And as always, keep it metal.